Ubisoft canceled an Assassin's Creed game because it was in the Civil War. GameStop still has the 2007 Halo 3 memorial on the physical store location, and Elon Musk thinks a fully created AI generated video game will be released at the end of 2026. That is what we're going to be talking about today in this video. My name is the Techno Jelly. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate you if you hit that subscribe button. If you would like support directly, please go over to the Patreon at the Technojelly at patreon.com. You get access to exclusive content and a once a month live stream, which you can vote on, which is going on right now. Please go over there and check it out. Starting with the fact that Ubisoft has canceled an Assassin's Creed game relatively recently. While it was canceled internally, some people came out and talked about it. They are all anonymous because they aren't technically allowed to be talking about this, but they wanted to bring it up to the press. And so in July of last year, they canceled an Assassin's Creed game in the modern setting, or I guess more modern than most of its games, in the American Civil War and the Reconstruction period after the Civil War. So during the Civil War and then after the Civil War. And personally, that sounds like a really interesting time for an Assassin's Creed game because, I mean, like some of the most successful Assassin's Creed games have been more modern. Like two of the ones that a lot of people liked were the Assassin's Creed 3 and 4, which both had guns in it, because 4 was the Black Flag, which had pirates, and 3 was in the American Revolution, if I remember correctly. So they had muskets still. But the American Civil War would have been the most modern guns in an Assassin's Creed game, which would have been really interesting. The problem is that you were playing as a black man who was a former slave of the South and trying to make a new life for himself. And some of the big things were that you were fighting the Ku Klux Klan, and Ubisoft thought that was going to be too controversial and decided to cancel the game, which I have to say is really weird to say because I don't know anyone that, like, I'm not entirely sure if the stance of we think killing white supremacist racists is a bad look. Who thinks that's a bad idea? Like, sure, killing people is bad, but like, it's a video game and they're members of the KKK. You know, killing is bad, don't get me wrong. But it feels weird that we should be caring about that. And this is also coming right after the whole Japanese Assassin's Creed as well, with the inspired Black Samurai coming off of the incredible controversial release of that game. And I feel like being a Civil War game, I think that would be fine. Like, I don't see why that would be a big deal. But they're literally quoted as saying too political in a country too unstable to make it short, which is they're talking about the United States political climate right now, which is crazy to me to think that they think the United States is so divided that playing a former slave Assassin's Creed game where you kill KKK members is going to be a problem. Because, like, there should be no reasonable person that is against that. Like, sure, you can talk about the historical accuracy and, like, all that type of stuff, but just the gist of it shouldn't be a problem because, like, yeah, sure, that could have totally happened in the Assassin's Creed world. The Assassin's Creed world, first of all, is also not incredibly accurate. It's more inspired by history more than based on history, because there's tons of things that are historically accurate or historically inaccurate about Assassin's Creed in many ways. So I don't see a real huge problem with the fact that the time period or the historical accuracy, but it just shows how Ubisoft has absolutely no idea what's going on, because this Assassin's Creed sounds just as controversial as the Japanese one. And arguably the Japanese one, I would say, is probably worse, because the things they got wrong in the Japanese one was literal cultural problems and potentially a historical inaccuracy, because technically while he did exist, I don't think he was technically a samurai, but he was a samurai like. I don't think he was officially a samurai, the character. And the fact that the game is boring. But, you know, that's a whole other thing. The gameplay of those Assassin's Creed games it's become way too much. It's become too much of the same thing. So it feels weird that they decided to cancel this game so early, especially considering how Ubisoft really needs more games. they don't release that many games anymore, and it feels weird that they've decided to cancel this one so early in development, it seemingly, because it seems to have been only a couple years in development, because Ubisoft needs wins, and they aren't getting any wins, basically. And a cool new Assassin's Creed game set in the Civil War sounds awesome to me. It'd be interesting to see what they do if the game was different, because you'd have to make it somewhat different, because there's going to be guns and like cannons, and like depending on how far you go, the early days of machine guns, like mounted machine guns, not assault rifles, but like all that stuff was slowly developed in the Civil War, like the Gatling gun, or like more modern style rifles, better artillery strategies, better strategies in general for war. The only thing that wasn't advanced was medical history, which you could definitely have some crazy, bad, intense scenarios with how the Civil War hospital camps looked like, because man, that those in a modern day knowledge, those look horrible and disease ridden. And it sucks that that we're not going to be able to play this game, because it sounds interesting, at least from how I'm thinking of how it would be. But the problem is it's a Ubisoft game, so it might have been a horrible bloated RPG mess or a very tacked on surface level game, because they only do two things nowadays. So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing that they decided to cancel it and move on to something else, because I hope a different company thinks of a cool American Civil War game, because I think old school historical settings are more underutilized nowadays in video games, because everyone's so obsessed with modern or future right now. And I think we need some good historical style video games that aren't held back by the fact that it's in the past, because like we don't need super accurate stuff. We just need stuff set in the time, and it's like, hey guys, this is not trying to be historically accurate. It's based on this setting with a video game twist, and I think a lot of people would like that. It's like that World War I Dark Souls game that I saw I think it's run by a solo dev, where yeah, that is not historically accurate in any way, but the style is World War I. The guns are early. They're not modern assault rifles and stuff like that. It's interesting. So I hope something happens with this style thing that more people might be interested in it. Seeing the interest in it, other companies might take a shot at it. Obviously, it can't be Assassin's Creed because that's Ubisoft, but it'd be nice to see something. Moving on to GameStop. Specifically in Colorado, some people were criticizing that the mural from 2007 of Halo 3 is still up, and they basically haven't taken it down, and they officially responded saying that they'll take it down when something better comes out. Now, don't get me wrong, Halo 3 is an amazing game, but if you're telling me that there hasn't been a good video game worthy of a big art piece since 2007 GameStop, this explains why you can't make money, because obviously you haven't been selling video games, and to be fair, they haven't. But like, I can't believe that they would even think, say, like, obviously this is a PR thing. It's a PR thing because they don't have the money to replace it. That's what the reason they aren't replacing it is, because they don't want to spend the money to replace it in a random GameStop in Colorado, because it doesn't sound like a bustling market to me. So they don't have anything modern setting up. But saying we'll take it down when something better comes out is like, you're a video game store. You shouldn't say that there hasn't been a good video game since 2007. It's not a good look on you. Like, it's not actually as clever as you think it is. What you're saying as the store that sells video games is that something hasn't been good enough to replace something that is from 2007, and it is currently 2025. So almost a full 20 years, 18 years. Which is really dumb of them to say, I must have to say. GameStop continues to make dumb decisions, don't get me wrong, but this is like a PR really stupid, and I'm sure some people will be like, ha, that's funny. But when you really think about it, it's like, wow, you guys don't understand what you're actually saying. And to be fair, it is just some guy on Twitter, so it's probably the intern on Twitter that has access to their Twitter account that wanted to do a quick comeback. So, you know, I totally get it. I'm not blaming necessarily the person. I'm blaming the person who approved it, because generally with these companies, you have to get things approved, and the person who approved this didn't think it through. Lastly, Elon Musk has been talking about his AI, artificial intelligence company XAI, which is promising video games, which is really weird because video games can't be made by AI. I'm just going to say it. It's impossible. But Elon, for some reason, is obsessed with thinking that they can do it. And him saying the AI game studio is going to create a fully AI generated game by the end of next year, 2026, is honestly, I think, impossible. Like, I literally don't see them doing it because I just don't see how they're going to do it. Like, are they going to AI generate the code and then just plug it in? Or like, are they going to make it playable on a browser somehow? Because first of all, the AI can't create anything. It just looks at stuff and creates images based off of something. So it's going to be a copyright nightmare for XAI, which is the company, because I just don't see them actually making a product that is distinct enough that some other company can't say, hey, you stole our copyright. Because like even in the demonstration videos that we've seen, it just looked like when they do like the modern military stuff, it just looks like a ripoff of Call of Duty or Battlefield. And I don't know why he thinks this is going to be a thing, because like you need humans to be able to do this thing. And I just don't see it to be a fully AI generated game. I just don't see that being good, fun, or any of the above. Like, I don't think it's going to work. I think you're going to hit start, it's going to crash. I think even if you get it to work, it's not going to be fun because there's not going to be a cohesive anything to it. And I just think it's not going to do well, because the problem with video games is that there is no end goal for a video game. The end goal is having fun, and AI, there is no way an AI can understand the concept of human fun. Because, like, when you think about it, sure, when you play a video game, there's challenge. You want to beat the game. You want to get good at the game. You want to get achievements. You want to get fulfillment through the story and all that type of stuff. Like, there's a lot of things, true, there is end goals to video game, but they're all human concepts. There is no, I now win, period. You know, like, sure, technically there can be win states, but like the journey more than often than not is what people want, not the end. Because like, sure, a lot of video games have amazing endings if they're single player, but like the gameplay from hour one to the end is what most people remember. Sure, there can be some crazy endings. I understand that. Or twists and all that type of stuff. But like, I don't think an AI right now at our current technology can understand the concept of human fun while playing a video game. I just don't see that ever happening. And devs themselves use AI tools to help make video games and stuff like that. But like, I just don't see it being completely done by AI because of those things I just talked about, like the concept of human fun and the AI just not getting that. And the fact it's going to be a copyright nightmare. I just don't see it how, like, if you're making if like the graphics are made by AI art and the code is made by AI generated coding, like that sounds like a nightmare, because that's so many copyright problems in so many ways. Like, oh my god, as a lawyer I'd be licking my lips, because holy cow, that's a huge payday if I was on that case. Like, I feel like you'd be getting, every lawyer should be, can't wait for this game to come out if it comes out. And I don't even think it's going to come out. I think he's just trying to be hitting the headlines and stuff, which, to be fair, has technically worked. He did make the headlines. So I just don't see this working at all. I don't see how you do it, how video games are made currently. Because if you're just trying to copy humans and trying to make a video game how humans do it, I don't see it working. And if you try to do it the AI way of somehow, I don't really know how that works. I just don't see it being fun and people wanting to actually play it. So I think it's a bad idea in every way. But I also think a lot of things AI are bad ideas. So, you know, maybe I'm slightly biased. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. If you do, I'll really appreciate it. And once we hit that goal, I'll be very happy. So thank you all for doing that. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. I completely understand. Let me down in the comments what you have to say about any of these 3 topics that we currently talked about. If you'd like to support me directly, please go over to the Patreon and follow and join all of these nice people currently going in the credits right now. You also get access to exclusive content like a stream once per month and early access to more long-term videos, or long-form videos, I should say. Thank you everyone for watching. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.